everybody, and welcome to Cooking with Goldbridge. Goldbridge cooks Christmas. Now look, this year has not been, I'm not going to do one of those. I'm not going to be one of those people who says, this year's been really hard, but we've got to stick together and everything like that. Well, we have actually. I'm going to be one of those people. We have got to stick together. But it has been ridiculously hard, and I'm not going to pretend that it hasn't. So I just want to say, on a personal note, thank you to everyone, and it's helped me, and hopefully some of the content I've done has helped you as well. But we are going into a phase of things being really difficult now, but it is Christmas. It's Christmas, and I'm going to give you one of my Christmas treats from my Christmas stocking, not sack. People get excited about the wrong sort of thing. Stocking. So look, people said, can you cook a Christmas dinner? I've got a life. A Christmas dinner is it's the Mount Everest of Christmas cooking, and I'm not going to do that. It would literally take me probably about 2 weeks to do it, when the wife can do it in 4 hours while I'm playing on my PS5. But what I am going to do, this is a Goldbridge Christmas tradition on a Christmas Eve. I've done it for about probably 6-7 years now. Basically, Christmas Eve lunchtime, you've got your Christmas dinner ready for Christmas dinner. That's going to happen. You know what's going to happen after Christmas Day. It's going to be crisps and pickles and cold meat until you're fed up. But Christmas Eve, you might have a dinner that's nice on a Christmas Eve. You might have a Chinese takeaway, an Indian takeaway. You might have, a lasagna or something like that. Something a bit different for what you're going to have on Christmas Day. But Christmas Eve lunchtime, my favourite day of the year is Christmas Eve. It always has been. The excitement, the anticipation. And I tell you what, COVID's not going to take that away. Although I must just say, I listen to Christmas Magic, right? Anyway, we're going to do like sausage sandwiches, Goldbridge style. This is going to be really nice. We're going to use cranberries, red onion, sausages, baps, which I'll talk about in a minute, and cranberry sauce. It's lovely. Whether you like cranberries or not, it's lovely because we're going to put ketchup on the top, or you can use brown sauce. These are banging Christmas Eve, lunchtime, early afternoon, whatever, snack. Absolutely brilliant. Not a turkey in sight, no chicken, no Brussels. It's proper preparation, lovely scrumptious food on Christmas Eve, comfort food, which could become part of your tradition. But I tell you what's not going to become part of my tradition. I listen to Christmas Magic. It's basically a radio it's basically magic radio with Christmas in front of it. They're taking advantage of Christmas, and why wouldn't they? There's loads of Christmas songs out there, and they play it 24/7, pretty much from the end of November till Christmas Day. So I have it on in the radio when I'm working and stuff, and you'll get the good songs like, 2,000 Miles by Pretenders, Simply Having a Wonderful Christmas Time by Paul McCartney, maybe a bit of Peace and Love from John Lennon or Band Aid. But what we've also had this year is crap songs. Total shit crap songs. I'm talking about Gary Barlow, Robbie Williams, and a few others who are singing about, they brought COVID into the equation. They're not going to take our Christmas away. No way. COVID in the bin. I've got to have my turkey tin. It's like, and I like Robbie Williams and Gary Barlow. I think Take That were very good in their prime. I love some of their songs, Back for Good. I wish you weren't back for good with this sort of song. I mean, I just think about it and I think, really, I don't think there's going to be people dancing around the kitchen going, oh, COVID, get away. You're not taking my Christmas away. It's like, F off COVID, don't want to hear about it. And in a couple of years' time, we're not going to look back. People sing Slade and Wizard and everything. These songs are from the 70s. They're coming up for 50 years old. I tell you what, nobody will be singing Robbie Williams or Gary Barlow's Christmas take on what's been a shit year ever again. We're going to bury COVID and your Christmas songs and never want to repeat it. I was watching the Gavin and Stacey Christmas special last night, and for the first 10 minutes, I was depressed. I look forward to watching Christmas specials, and I was depressed. You know what I was depressed of? That they were actually in a pub, or they were actually they actually had family together at Christmas. So shove your Christmas songs about COVID. Oh, it's not going to take it away. It's crap. It's crap. But what we must do is stay strong and focused. Effectively, it's a bit of a prison sentence, isn't it? And look, if people like bloody, I'm not going to name any names because I can't think of anybody that's appropriate. Basically, they're in prison for a reason, so we don't want to be like them. But if they can do it, we can do it. And I think that, we're not actually in prison. You've got TV, you've got good food, you've got your PlayStation, you've got board games. Actually, they get all that in prison as well, don't they? I mean, I don't agree with it, but they do. But we've got to do this for a reason. We know we've got to do it for a reason, and that's enough of my sort of pontificating about that. Right, so what ingredients have we got? We're going to, this is lovely. This is so nice. I can't wait to eat it again. So I've got 12 pork chipolata sausages. You could use any sausages. Don't use those ones that you use in a picnic, the little cold, shriveled, maggot dick ones. You want to use proper sausages because we're going to cook them, and they're already cooked. So you want to get, you can use any sausages you like. I just go for the thinner chipolata sausages. I go for those. I'm using one red onion because I'm only doing this for myself. But if you wanted to do it for like 6 people, you'd just double everything up. Cranberry sauce, which I'm sure you've got ready for Christmas Day. Some cranberries. These are frozen, but you can just use cranberries in general. And cranberry sauce, you'll see why. And then baps. Now I've got to apologise for this. I went to the supermarket to get some freshly cooked, crusty baps, really nice bread, because I think it sets it off. They didn't have any, so I've got 6 wholemeal rolls that don't go out of date until the 21st December. They're not going to be great, but in some ways, they're still, the contents of what we're going to cook is going to make the bap irrelevant. You could use bread if you want to, because what's going in it is going to be great. If you can get good quality bread, it will enhance it a little bit, but at the end of the day, I'm using the David Louise of baps, the Mustafi, the Phil Jones. They're not great baps that I've got today. So I suppose that's a little bit about what COVID's about this year, isn't it? It's about making do. So if you can't get good baps, just go with what you can get. I've gone with the Phil Jones ones, but it doesn't mean I can't win a title. I'm still going to win a title. I've still got Lionel Messi, my sausages. I've got Ronaldo, my red onion. I've got Neymar, my cranberry juice. And I've got Kevin De Bruyne or Bruno as my cranberries. Unfortunately, I've got Phil Jones or David Luiz at the back. But these lot are going to win the game. They're going to win the day. They're going to win the Christmas Eve. You're going to absolutely love this. So first of all, we need to chop the onions up. We do need some olive oil. We're going to get over to the pan. We're going to chop the onions up. We're going to put it in on a medium heat. We're going to put the onions in. Then we're going to put the sausages in. I'll tell you what, I'm talking too much. I'm going to show you what we're going to do, because we're going to get to a Christmas Eve classic as Goldbridge cooks Christmas. Get that Robbie Williams song on. I need to sing it. They ain't gonna take away our Christmas. Hello everybody, so we're by the cooker, which is always a good place to cook. If you want to cook food, it's the best place to be. So we've got, I've actually only used half of my red onion because I'm only doing this for myself. I'm being selfish. It isn't actually Christmas Eve. On Christmas Eve, I'll be cooking this for 5, but I am actually cooking it for myself today. They're all out down the park. So I've got a quick hour where I'm meant to be tidying up and wrapping presents, where I'm just going to make myself something nice, and then when they come back I'll say I just had beans on toast. But anyway, so I've got half of my onion, which is on a medium heat with some olive oil. I'm just cooking that. Actually, it's probably a bit of a high heat. It's all right, we'll turn it down. We're going to put the sausages in there in a minute, which we'll talk through. But yeah, I love this. This is one of my favourite. I have traditions for food at Christmas. I like a good curry. I like this on Christmas Eve. I like a Christmas dinner. I like a bit of Christmas pudding. I like a crisp sandwich on Boxing Day. And I like to stick a Mars bar in there as well if I'm feeling really, really hungry. But no, you have your traditions at Christmas, of course, and it's important to keep those traditions this year. One of my traditions is actually stomach ache, which I'll talk about in a minute. But just going back to COVID, I think it's really important. I was speaking to John the other day. We've sort of fallen out. I don't like him anyway, so I'm not bothered. If you know who John is, then you'll know. And I saw him the other day, literally last night. It was quite festive. I was having a good old walk around with the dog. It'd be a bit weird if I was just walking around on my own around the streets looking at people's lights, but I felt festive, so I always take the dog as a distraction. But I just like to look at people's Christmas lights. And John comes up behind me and says, "You all right?" I says, "I'm not too bad, John. How are you? Hope you're having a good Christmas." And he said, "Oh yeah, I'm going to have a good Christmas. You know what? Because I'm not going to let what Boris has just said affect me." And I felt like saying, well, why should you, John? But it went deeper than that, because ultimately, me and John have had a few words recently. He thinks I'm talking about him on these videos. I don't know what makes him think I'm talking about that. I might be another John on my walk, John. I might have met another John. You know what I mean? But anyway, what John was saying is basically, well, I'm not cancelling my plans because of what Boris has just said. I'm planning on seeing my mother on Boxing Day and my mother-in-law the day after that, and I've got my kids coming round on Christmas Day, and we're just going to have a normal Christmas like we would normally. And I said, John, you're the problem, John. Let me get the sausages on. You're the problem, John, because ultimately you might kill your mother-in-law, you might kill your mother, by spreading the virus just because you want to have Christmas like you normally have. I said, it's people like you, John. You're a bloody disgrace. You've already messed Christmas up with your Christmas lights a couple of weeks ago, and now you're going to try and kill your family. And he said, that's a bit harsh. That's a bit harsh. I'm not deliberately trying to kill them. I said, well, why aren't you staying at home, John? Why aren't you staying at home and doing what everyone else is meant to do? Just because you want to be round your family members playing Boggle or Trivial Pursuit and having After 8 Minutes and laughing. You know, you could do that on Zoom. You could do that on WhatsApp. I don't want to be, and I also don't want to discriminate against other video technologies that you can do things with. But it is disappointing. It's really disappointing. It's a bit like when the Star Wars sequels came out. I was very excited. They had Harrison Ford, Luke Skywalker, Princess Leia. They were going to be in it, and I was like, they're finally going to get rid of those prequel shit and give us something good. It was disappointing. Luke Skywalker, the best Jedi that ever lived, is drinking milk from an alien tit. It's terribly disappointing. And it's just drop in the ocean compared to the disappointment of not having the Christmas that you want. But ultimately, we're not doing this to save your heating bills. We're not doing this we're not even doing it for the environment. You know, help out a few trees by not driving your car out. Stop the polar ice caps melting on a deeper level. But we'd like the icebergs to be on a deeper level, actually, because they wouldn't melt. But getting away from global climates, because I don't want to open that hornet's nest. We're doing this because there's a virus, and it's a virus that spreads, and it's a virus that kills the vulnerable. So John got it. He got both barrels last night, not in a gun sense. I mean both barrels from my mouth. I don't shoot from my mouth. I shoot facts from my mouth. I shoot anger and frustration from my mouth. But I'm totally against gun violence, as I'm sure everybody else is. I don't even play Call of Duty anymore. I've stopped. I'm against it. I'm like, you know, I know it's a computer game, but it's still guns. Anyway, so John, wandered off with his chuntering, and I was like, shut up, chuntering, John. I could still hear from here. Chuntering away, because I'd said to him, you basically could be killing your mother-in-law and your own family by going there on Boxing Day and the day after. And I said, John, I don't know how you feel about your mother-in-law. Stereotypically, a lot of people do tell mother-in-law jokes, and maybe you think it's funny to get COVID. Me and my mother-in-law get involved, get on very well. Don't know why you're getting involved. Well, you know, I'm just being stereotypical, John. But I bet you like your mother. I do. I love her. Well, I would expect you do. So why do you want to try and get her ill? I don't. But you might be carrying COVID. I'm not. I'm going to have a test. But you might be. This is the decision, John. You've got to make a decision. Stop hiding like an ostrich in the sand. Stop hiding like Kevin under the bed when the burglars come on Home Alone. And man up. Man up and woman. And tell your wife to woman up as well. Let's not be sexist about this. The sausages are going well. The onions are going good as well. And he just walked off after that because he had no answer. I said, and as he walked off chuntering, I was like, have you got to come back? Have you got to come back, John? Have you got to come back, John? He must have been about 500 metres away when I was still shouting, have you got to come back? Stop chuntering. I don't know what he was chuntering about, but he had no answer. Because the reality is, it is very disappointing, but responsibility has got to kick in. And that's what's got to happen. We've got to be responsible here, people, and not spread this horrible, horrible disease so that in the new year, next year, this time next year, I can be doing Goldbridge cups of Christmas dinner. That's not why we're doing it, by the way. But we're doing it so that we can get to a better time. And I do think it's disappointing, but you know what? You're not going to be disappointed by this. Anyway, sausages. I'm trying to brown the sausages because that's the next bit, and I don't really want to cut away. So the onions, be very careful with the onions. I put them on a higher heat to start off with, and now because we're trying to cook the sausages and the onions are still in there, they're effectively starting to go a bit brown before my sausages, which will ruin it a little bit. So I've tried to get my onions a little bit to the side off a heat, and I'm just cooking my sausages now. And what we're going to do in a minute is, I'm going to take a handful of cranberries and a spoonful of cranberry sauce, put it in there, put it on a low heat, mix it all together, and it will caramelise together. So what you're going to get is sticky sausages with onion and cranberry in there, put it into a bap. I like it with a bit of ketchup. Magnificent, magnificent. But people say be gamble aware. People say don't drink and drive. People say Wash your hands. I'm saying be careful what you eat. That's Goldbridge's big message this Christmas. Be careful what you eat, but more importantly, be careful how much you eat. If there's a tradition that catches me out every year, it's the Christmas night buffet. Every Christmas night I end up feeling really ill, and Boxing Day is ruined until I get a few pints in me. Last year my medicine was 6 pints down the pub. It was really, and you know what causes my stomachache? Stuffing. And I'm not talking about that sort of a stuffing, I'm talking about Goldbridge's stuffing. Now you can probably find that, it might be on this channel. Check it out, it's a classic, Goldbridge Christmas stuffing. I'll drop the link in the video description. It's got apricots in it, it's got hazelnuts, breadcrumbs, it's delicious. I bloody love it. So what I do is I gorge myself on Christmas Day dinner, and then on Christmas Day night I have to have a turkey sandwich with the stuffing and the pickles and the Pringles. Even though I'm full up, I'll do it, and then I get really bad stomachache. And I think it's all the rich food, because I'm actually quite healthily during the year. And I just, you know, I even get my mates messaging me on Christmas Day night, have you got the Goldbridge stomachache? And I have it all the time. I did it the other day with wine gums. I went and got myself a bag of wine gums and some nuts and some Pringles and a drink of Coke. It's like a nuclear war in my stomach. It's just, my stomach's like, what the F are you doing? What are you doing? We're used to water and fruit and salad. You're chucking in wine gums, nuts, Coca-Cola and crisps. What are you doing? So yeah, be careful what you eat. That's what I would say. Right, these are getting to a good stage now. My onions are on the side. We're going to lower this heat down. Imagine if I leant down and it just suddenly went like that. True story this, actually. Handful of cranberries. This is a true story. I literally am going to put a handful of cranberries in. So, actually I'll just tip them in. So, this is just for one, so I'll just put a handful in. And then I'll grab a spoon. I thought, and good spoonful of that, because that's where you're going to get your caramelisation from. And then you want to start mixing it all in together. The sausages, the onions, the cranberries, low heat, and it all start to caramelise together. And we're going to leave that for 20 minutes just to cook away. 20 minutes on a low heat. I think it needs to come up a little bit actually. There we go. Keep an eye on that, but that's going to be really nice. As you can see, very festive colours in there with the cranberries. The cranberries are really nice and bitter, and if you have some brown sauce with it or red sauce with it for the sweetness, it's lovely. We want that all to caramelise now. You could double that up if you want to do it for more people as well. It's a lovely, lovely Christmas Eve dinner. But what I was going to say is, just, you know, when I was bending over there, and like a comedy thing would have been if it had just blown up and singed my hair. It wouldn't have been comedy, because, you know, it's a bit like Home Alone again. Some of these, you know, some of the things that happened to the burglars would have killed them. Like throwing a brick from a 4th story building onto somebody's head. Might look funny, but it probably would kill him. Anyway, I used to smoke, you know, rock and roll. B&H, can of Red Stripe, Goldbridge, as a Poundland, Liam Gallagher, down the local pub playing pool. That used to be me when I was about 17, 18. And I was playing pool. I'd gone to get a round in for the lads, and while I was there, I came back. I got one of my B&H's out, mad fun it, walking around the table. Oh, am I on the reds or the yellows, or is it a 2 shots? And they were like, "Why are you talking in your Mancunian accent again?" "I've always talked like this. Shut up." Anyway, I went to light my cigarette up, and one of these lighters, right? You can, you know, if you've ever had a lighter, one of them little plastic coloured things, you know, you can get them in pink and green. You can adjust the size of the flame. However, yeah, the highest flame is about that, the lowest one's like that. I'd probably have it always like that. If you take the silver bit off, you can move the thing that adjusts the flame and just go, lift it up, go around again, and turn it up really high. Anyway, I used to have a small flame, so I was like that. Mad for it, I'm on reds, I'll be there in a minute. Gets me cigarette, goes to light it, expecting the flame to be like that. I'll be there in a minute, mad for it. Get some Oasis on, get all this Cockney Blur shit off, southern twats. Somebody messed around with my lighter. Well, of course I had Poundland Liam Gallagher hair. I had hair that was long to there, and I had these fake, look, even now, if I grew, that's 4 years of growth. I can't do the sideys that Wolverine's got. The sideys I had were hair which was sort of cut to stick down. Anyway, Singed my whole all my eyebrows and my head. Everybody bloody laughed. I would have laughed if it wasn't happening to me, but this was very dangerous. The flame was, they'd got it to like that. I thought it was going to be like that. Mad funny. True story, Wheatsheaf pub, Cropple Bishop, circa 1996. Actually, it was probably more 98, 99. But it happened, and yeah, the smell was horrible as well. The smell of burnt hair is not a nice thing. And then they were laughing. I got no sympathy. And the lads who did it, I know who you are. I know who did it. Remember when we were 14 and we were on our new bikes on a bike ride, and you were riding down the road next to me, and you were doing non-handed, and I knocked your handlebars, and you went into the bush and broke your bike, and I said it was an accident. It wasn't a bloody accident. Spin on that. Anyway, these are going to be. That's going to go for 20 minutes. So as I show you there, lovely stuff. Sausages, onion, cranberries. That's going to caramelise down even more, and then eventually in 20 minutes we'll be putting that into a bap over there, and I'll be eating it. It won't be 20 minutes for you. It's going to be 20 seconds. Okay, so this is the exciting bit. We take it off the heat. It should be all sticky and caramelised. In fact, while I'm talking, what I'm going to bring over here, mad funny. Actually, in 2021, I think I'm just going to become that person who is mad funny. You know, I'm just going to talk like this all the time. You know, I'm going to bring out my back catalogue. If anyone watched Going for Goldbridge actually last week, I was singing. I actually did want to. Not only did I used to burn my hair off because after pranks, I did also want to be in a band, and I used to write my own songs, and I couldn't really remember any of them. I remembered another one, The Day in the Shower. It was something like, my pockets are full of money, but it's all bronze and that's not funny. Living on the edge, taking risks, taking chances. It's like a race with increasing fences. I mean, that's as far as I got, and as you can tell, it's crap. It's like a risk with increasing fences. What risk? Why do fences? I don't know. Anyway, that was that. This is a Christmas treat. This really is a Christmas treat. So, got me baps. Always butter your baps. Not the quality of baps I wanted. They are the Phil Jones of baps, but it's not going to matter too much. As you can see here, sausages and the caramelised onion. So if I use the fork here, they should be perfectly cooked, but let's have a quick look. Yeah, that's banging. Okay, so let's load. I'm sort of doing this the wrong... I don't know what to do here. Right, 2 sausages into there. There we go. Stop it down, and we're gonna put some of the caramelised onion and cranberry. If you don't, getting hold of cranberries might be difficult. Actual cranberries, cranberry sauce is easy. If you can get frozen cranberries or normal cranberries, use them, or just don't use the cranberries and use the cranberry sauce. But they do give off like a bitter taste, which is really really nice, and it just adds to the flavour with the onions and the onion as well, and the cranberries. Lovely stuff. It's absolutely fantastic. I'll leave those sausages there, and then what I do, I just add a bit of ketchup on the top just to give it a bit of sweetness as well. I'm lucky this year because I'm going to get it twice, because although it says Christmas Eve, I'm cooking it before Christmas Eve, obviously, but I will be having these on Christmas Eve as well. So, and there it is, the sausage. That is so good. I mean, that bread isn't as good as I would like it. I want the crispy the crispy fresh cooked bread. But even with the Phil Jones bap, it's still the contents of it. The bitterness of the cranberries, the beautifulness of the sausages, the sweetness of the ketchup. You've got the onions in there. That is really, really nice. And that can become a Christmas Eve tradition for you. It might become more than a Christmas Eve treat. You might have it more and more often. Who knows? But absolutely lovely, absolutely beautiful. And let's all remember Bernard Matthews at this time of the year. If you know, you know. Beautiful. He was the king of turkeys. He didn't live in a house and have loads of turkeys there and they worshipped him. He killed them for money. Not as a sport, but to sell you turkey and chicken. So yeah, Bernard Matthews, turkeys, always associated there. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. There's no turkey in that, it's just sausages. But look, I hope you have a fantastic Christmas. I hope you have a fantastic Christmas, I really do. Keep a smile on your face where you can. Stay strong, we're doing it for the right reasons. It is frustrating, it is disappointing, but the way I look at it is, if you decide to go and see friends and family, that's on your conscience, and many people will just do it. But if you do that, the chances are loads of other people will do it. And if loads of other people do it, it will spread. This mentality that, well, I'm going to do it, what difference does it make if I go and see my friends and family over Christmas? But if everybody has that mentality, it makes a lot of difference. It means we get a lot of spread. And what happens then in January and February is a lot of people die, but we also have to have loads more restrictions. We can't play sport, we can't go to pubs, we can't go to cinemas, we can't see friends and family again. And look, there will be another Christmas, and this Christmas we won't have another Christmas like this, but we'll get back to normality the harder people work at getting us through this, what I believe is the beginning of the end. So have a good Christmas, plenty of good food, plenty of good times, and I hope 2021 is going to be a better one for all of us. Thanks everyone for watching. Definitely check this out. Smash the like on the video, subscribe if you're new, and if you want to do the Christmas stuffing, I've dropped the link in the video description as well. Have a great Christmas. I'm going to be around on United Stand. I'll do some stuff on here as well, but Goldbridge Crooks Christmas. I'm going to eat Christmas now. Thanks for watching.